Okay, I want to do a quick video for you guys here. I think it'll help clear up about the chakras. The zodiac is an alchemical magic circle of nature. It's nature's alchemy. And within it are all the different attributes that are within us. And the 7 planets, sun and moon, they are connected to our chakras, which are our endocrine system, our glandular system. Think adrenal gland, pineal gland. And in your natal chart, which is your cross, you have a ruling planet. You have a ruling planet. So let's talk about ruling planets for a minute. Hold on, let me write here. Let's just start at the bottom with Mars. Mars in the masculine sense is Aries. If you're an Aries, you are a fire sign. You're masculine. You're cardinal fire. It's cardinal fire. It's cardinal. Here, let's do it this way. Let's just do it by the symbolism. So you have Aries, which is going to be cardinal. This is the cardinal cross. It's going to be fire, which this should be yellow. Yellow, okay? So it's cardinal fire, and Mars is the ruling planet. Mars, which is your emotions and your actions. And this side is masculine. And this side is feminine, and it's water. This should be white. And it is on the fixed cross. So this is the symbols for Scorpio, and this is the symbols for Aries. And if you are Scorpio or Aries, then Mars is your ruling planet. That means you are ruled by your emotions and your actions and your sexuality. Sexuality over here. And water is the people in your life, right? These are your friends. Scorpio is about friendship, intimacy. Therefore, sexuality. The people you're intimate with. And, of course, fire, your emotions, your rage. For the feminine and the masculine. Now, the whole point of learning this is we're told this is what we have to overcome. You got to come on over. You got to overcome. In the beginning, we're told that all these chakras or all these planets worked in our favor. Okay? They served us. And, of course, we're in an upside down world. So now we're serving them. We're serving them. We are, I'll get to that when we get to Mercury. Hold on, because he has a lot to do with it right now. Next we have Jupiter. You'll find in the navel. Jupiter's masculine is also fire. And it's yellow. It's a triangle. Yellow is fire. And he's on the mutable cross. This is the symbol for Sagittarius. And over here in the feminine, Jupiter rules Pisces, which is the mutable cross and water. These are the symbols for this age right here. Of course, they've got this symbol is what's dominating the world right now. That's the symbol of world domination, or domination over the age of Pisces, over the mutable age, this age. All right, so Jupiter rules expansion and empire. In Sagittarius and in fire, Jupiter rules ideology. Atheism falls in this category with ideology. There are many. It's like mythologies. Our ideologies and our mythologies and all of that, everything comes from the heavens. It's all in astrology. It's all written in the stars. Everything under the sun. And then on this side, Pisces, Jupiter rules religion, and groupthink, the hive mind. Water with the moon tends to be hive mind. The representation for that is one drop of water in the ocean becomes the ocean, right? It's a hive mind. So here, all the religions of the world have a water ritual. Muslims must wash. A lot of the Hindus, they're going to drink the water. The Catholics are going to christen with water. The Protestants are going to dunk you under the water. You're going to get the full effect. All right. So these would, as your ruling planet, if you're Pisces or Sagittarius, Jupiter's your ruling planet, and Jupiter rules your desires. So your desires are what you would have to overcome. And then we have in the solar plexus right here, you have two, and it's the sun and the moon. And they represent Leo, which is fire on the fixed cross, and the moon over here as water on the cardinal cross. Looks like an arrow. Like I said, waters are the people in your life. So the moon is considered the divine feminine. It's cardinal water. Within Cancer, this is the sign of Cancer, and this is the sign of Leo. Within cardinal water, you have, in Cancer, you have the beehive cluster. It's called the beehive cluster. You also have the two main stars in Cancer. Their names translates to the northern donkey and the southern donkey. You got to think who uses these symbols today. The Democrats use the donkey, and they also use the bee as well. So the divine feminine, cardinal water. The sun is about courage, really. The lesson of Leo is one of courage, hence the cowardly lion. The New Testament, Leo, the star Regulus, is the nail in the feet of the Messiah. So that makes the sign of Leo. Three people showed up at the crucifixion. Mother Mary, the other Mary, and John the Apostle. And that's who Leo represents in the apostles, is John. He's the only one that had the courage to show up at the crucifixion. These two are about power, right? These are your power centers. You have fixed fire and cardinal water. You have the negative polarity and the positive polarity. Think of your solar plexus is like a magnet, and the sun and the moon are the two poles, or the two nodes. Then we move into the heart chakra. This is Venus. Venus in the masculine is Libra. That's cardinal. air. Which is the most high of heaven. It's the hidden mysteries of the heavens, and it's about harmony and balance. But if it's out of balance, it becomes very arrogant, very narcissistic, can be sociopathic, very selfish. Then you have the feminine aspect of the heart, which is Taurus, and that's earth, and it is fixed. Here, Taurus is really, the earth signs are really about work, about getting things done. It's our labors. It's the materialistic world. Our three states of matter, solid, liquid, and gas. Now, a lot of people argue with me about plasma being a fourth state of matter. I think plasma is going to fall outside the definition of what we call matter. That's something new. That's going to fall in line of what we call electricity or even thought. Our thoughts in our brain, because this is what we're talking about here. All of this is in our head. When we talk about thought, it is an electrical impulse. It is electrical impulses within inside your body that generates thought, generates the images that you see, especially when you close your eyes and you generate images. Where do you think that light comes from that's generating that image? How are you seeing that? Some people can't do it. I recently learned that. I did not know that. So, heart chakra here. What they call the broken and the contrite heart. The contrite heart will trigger the thalamus to trigger the pineal gland. Then we have the throat chakra. Our hearts are torn between earth and heaven. Heaven and earth. Mercury ruling the throat chakra. In the masculine, in Gemini, he rules mutable air. He is the prince of the power of the air. It's called the first heaven. It's what we call under the dome. From the ground up into the clouds, everything under the dome is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules media. Mercury rules medicine. That's why you always see that he rules hermetics and drugs, that retrograde symbol on all your medicine. In Gemini, he rules commerce, not the money per se. Well, I guess it's not the gold or the value that he rules, but he does rule fiat currency from Gemini. It's money out of thin air. It has, I call Gemini is thin air. Alright, and then you have Mercury in Virgo, which is the market. Virgo is mutable and an earth sign. Again, earth signs are about work, materialistic, earning it, working for the money to buy the material things. She is, in the New Testament, she's the woman with the alabaster box who washes his feet, Regulus, with her tears and dries it with her hair. But in flipped upside down world, now she's the whore of Babylon. She's the whore of Babylon. And these are the things that we must overcome. These are your ruling planets. If your sun is born in whichever house your sun is born in here, I'm giving you all of them, then you have your ruling planet, and that is, we have to overcome ourselves. We are our own worst enemies. So it's what is within us and this is what we must overcome and endure until the end. So that brings us to the crown chakra, Saturn. In the feminine, it is, let me bring it over here. It is cardinal. And it is earth. Ruled by Saturn. These are Saturn's two houses. Let me go ahead and do the other one, which is Aquarius. It's masculine. It is air, which is the Aleph. And it's the fixed cross, which is the Tau. And the Aleph and the Tau. So both of these are ruled by Saturn. They're about service to others. Aquarius is the Messiah. He said, "No man takes my life, I lay it down." Aquarius is the one who gives himself for the whosoever. And Capricorn is about government, military, education, fireman, postman. I even put waitress in this category because it's the one who serves the many. It's like, kind of like what Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? Well, this is, ask not what the world can do for you, but what can you do for the world? Everybody has a part to play. Everybody. And Capricorn is about order. All of these things right now that I just mentioned are all being, we're in the age of Pisces, so they're all being ruled by Jupiter, not by Saturn. We're in the age of desires. We're way down here. We're here. But we're going to move to here, to the Aleph and the Tau. So do you really overcome Saturn as a Capricorn? I don't even know if that's possible. What you do when it comes to Saturn is submit. You submit. Aquarius is about alchemy and astrology. Alchemy has one law, and it's the law of equivalent exchange. To get something, you must give something. You reap what you sow. Sound familiar? Who said that? Not grace and mercy. That's Pisces. Aquarius is you reap what you sow. That's karma and dharma. And Capricorn and Aquarius are one. Jupiter's houses are divided. Everybody's houses are divided, but Saturn on the wheel, but Saturns are side by side. The sun and the moon can be considered side by side, and they're considered one. They come into an eclipse. The moon can move into the house of the sun, but the sun cannot eclipse the moon. The earth eclipses the moon. The earth does. That when the moon is shown in eclipse, that's the earth blocking. The sun is the right eye. The moon is the left eye. Third eye, cardinal earth, right up here. Aquarius is about the third eye, and here's earth attached right to it. This says that earth is the third eye. Period. It's going to open. All these buildings, government buildings, institutions, cathedrals and churches and mosques and all kind of stuff that what they build them out of, this limestone and this marble, it's like calcifying a pineal gland. They do it over the ley lines to keep it from opening. This is the third eye. The earth is the third eye. Its Schumann resonance going to increase, and as we move through the ages, it changes. Each age has its own frequency. Right now, we're in a frequency of mutable water, upside down, battling with mutable fire, mutable earth, and mutable air. The transmutation occurs on the mutable cross. We got to have this. This is where the change happens in this age, and never so more so than right now. This is all pretty much all or nothing. The ones who make it out, who endure unto the end, who overcome and endureth unto the end, they get to spend, they get to live in heaven on earth in the golden age. And the rest will be recycled into Sagittarius, which is the lake of fire. It's mutable fire. Lake is a representation of water, or mutable water, the state of mutable water. Water has three states: liquid, solid when it's frozen, and gas when it vaporizes. So this is what's going on within you and your ruling planets, and all of the planets in us. Where are they at? Say you're born in Pisces. You're a Pisces, and your ruling planet is Jupiter. But where is your Jupiter? Right? Your Jupiter might be in Cardinal Air, Libra. So your desires are that of the heart, for harmony, balance, the hidden things of the heavens. That would be your desires. And you have to control them, or they control you. And some of the hardest to control are the lower chakras. They're the hardest. You guys have the hardest problem when you have that Jupiter and Mars, because down here, this is water and fire. Up here, it's earth and air and earth. And most of us are mixed. Some are more balanced. It's really crazy. I'm doing them in the charts right now, so I'm really starting to see it. And you should do it for your natal position, for your first Saturn return, and your second Saturn return. So you can know who you were, who you are, and who you are becoming. You can see all phases of yourself. This is for you to do you. And nobody can do you for you but you. And that's funny, the double U. The double U. That's the symbol for magic in Egyptian. The W. It means magic. And here's a symbol for you. If I can get this right. Looks like a letter. The box with the X. X box. That's a symbol for a secret. It's a secret. Which X is the mutable cross. And instead of square, they squared the circle. They squared the circle. So it's a secret. It's an X box. You can learn, as we go through this and just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, you're going to start to, these symbols are going to start affecting you. You're going to start seeing them everywhere. And then you can identify, oh, this company uses a fire logo in their symbols. So, you know, you can break it down to three. There are only three fires. Is it fixed fire, mutable fire, or cardinal fire? And always looking for those nasty little retrograde symbols to stay away from. All right, I didn't want this to be too long. I wanted it to be short. I've had company all week. They've just left. I need to pull myself together. I need to do a few things for Kelly. And then I'm going to kick into finish up some charts. I'm still way behind. I am not accepting any new requests at this time. It's probably going to be quite a while. A lot of you keep sending me wanting to be on the waiting list. Well, I'll put you on the waiting list, but it's very long. Don't get your hopes up anytime soon. I don't like being under pressure, and these charts are starting to put me under pressure, and I'll just put it down, because if I'm stressed out and not connecting, I might as well just refund you. I want to do them right, and they've been really great, and I'm loving doing the chakra thing in it, because you really get to see how it affects you personally. This is who they are and where they stand. And what you do is you go in and put yours where they go. And then you'll see, oh, well, you know, I've got my Jupiter over here. So my Jupiter is affected by my heart. It's in Libra. It's affected by the masculine side of my heart, by Libra. And that'll give you a better idea of how to overcome it. And then when you look at it in the circle, you can see what opposes it. Remember, let me do this. I'm going to erase this. When you have in like lunar astrology, I guess in some solar astrology, they talk about trines, right? You have a trine. All elements have a trine. And the trines are the crosses. They're either mutable, fixed, or cardinal. So to say that one planet is trine to another means they're in the same element. There are 4 of these. To say they're on the same cross means they're squared each other. The cross is a square. It shows you the 4 points. Earth, water, air, and fire. Mutable, fixed, cardinal. Now, something else I wanted to say here. Hold on. When you get into the Pythagorean theorem of it, a trine is 120 degrees. 3 times 120 is 360, the circle, right? So a trine is always aspecting at 120 degrees, means it's in the same element. Now, to be squared, they usually say that's a 90. You either have a 90 degree square or a 180, which is the opposition. And that's where these come into play. These are numbers you'll find in the square. These are numbers you'll find in the element. The cross and the element. The square and the trine. So you can see how all this comes together. All right. I think I finished. I think I actually said what I wanted to say, and I've kept it under 30 minutes. Oh my goodness. I do want to make an apology about the free kittens video. I should have put a warning up. I've traumatized several of you. Had I not been in shock and my body full of adrenaline, I would have known better than to do that. Because I'm very much that way on YouTube. I cannot stand watching a video and then, because I watch a lot of Reddit, or listen to it anyway, and they'll start telling a story about some neighbor doing something to some neighbor's dog, and I'll just lose my mind. Why didn't you tell me this? I would have never listened to this. So I do apologize. I knew better. I did. I take complete responsibility for that. And I will use it as a learning to remind myself, if I'm in shock or not, to never do that without a warning up there. I do have my channel set at adults only. So, no children, not for kids, because they keep threatening to take me down. I guess that's something I need to address. All the new YouTube rules, they're coming at us. They don't, when they strike your channel, they really don't tell you why. And you have no recourse at all. They just give you this vague summary of somewhere in here you stepped in shit, and now you're in trouble for it. Now, then they came out and they started attacking us about what's in the comment section. That you have to monitor your comments, or you have to allow them to do it. So either you have to monitor all your comments, or you have to do them as hold inappropriate comments and let YouTube monitor it for you. And I have no choice but to do that on my channel. I can't monitor my channel. I can't keep up with it. It's too big. It's too much for me. Speaking of, I'm sitting on over, this week has put me so far behind. I'm over 4,000 emails. Now, I've met a local girl here, and she's going to come help me out. Lord knows I can't afford to pay anybody, But she needs some work done that I have skills for, and I need some work done that she can do, and it'll help take a load off of me. I would rather do her work that way. And she can get me, or she's going to help me get me organized. And I'm turning my email over to her. I'm not even going to bother with the comments. I'm just going to let those of you who've been here the longest deal with the comments. Now, as far as charts go, if you don't want to wait on me, like I said, I highly recommend Crystal Time, Victoria Cotton, and Lars. Lars, if you're doing charts and you don't mind me sending people your way, I highly recommend all three of these people. They completely understand the alchemy behind it. For that matter, they know more about astrology than I do, because they've studied lunar astrology and solar astrology, and I have not. I have not. I've never lied about this. I'm not an astrologer. But what I do is the alchemy. I can see the alchemy. I know the images. I know what they mean. I know what they feel like. I know what they feel like as they move around that circle. To me, I see that middle path. But there's so much more to know. I know what cross you're on. I know what your lesson is. I know what your purpose is. I know how it affects you in the body with the chakras. But as far as if you want to know who you should marry, or when you should marry, or if you're going to be rich, or when you're going to die, I can't tell you any of that. There's no prognostication to what I'm doing. I'm just telling you what the wheel says, what the circle says. It's a circle of life. It's the circle of life. And we're all in it. And we all have a part to play. Unfortunately, most of us have been double-crossed, which makes life really hard. And to me, that was the whole purpose of me doing this, was I had discovered we were double-crossed. So let me just start by putting everybody on the correct cross. And then the alchemy began to unfold before me. And it's really quite incredible. I'm so impressed with it. It's nature's freaking algorithm is what it is. Just like alchemy is a language. It's a set of symbols. It's nature's language. It's nature speaking to us through symbolism. And of course, all that's been hijacked, perverted, corrupted. And I'm just trying to set the record straight. Make straight the way of the Lord. All right, you people, go bank that karma. You're going to need it. I want to thank those who have really had a pickup and gifts. I've got some really incredible stuff lately. I want to thank you all for that. I don't like calling people out because I understand the alchemy, and that what you do in secret, your Father rewards you openly, and He can reward you far better than me calling you out. And it's the same thing with sin here. If you commit a crime in Pisces, you can, if you pay for your crime here, you don't have to pay for it when you leave. You've done your time. It's called doing your time. So if we make mistakes or we commit crimes, it's always best to step up, take responsibility, own it, overcome it, learn from it. That's what our failures and mistakes are for. They're there to teach us. So then you don't pay for it later. But what we don't, everything balances out. We will reap what we sow, good or bad, karma or dharma.